Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Lovelight, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have some fake dating romance recommendations to share with you. So fake dating books are one of my favorite things to read, only because it's either they just don't know each other and so they go into this fake dating situation and then they fall in love and it's great. And I love the journey that we go on, or they are friends and they say, hey, can you do me a favor? Let's fake date. So it's more of a friends to lovers thing too. And that's one of my favorite tropes, friends to lovers. So I have a couple of books to share with you, but before we dive into the romance recommendations, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video. And that is Avery Maxwell. Avery Maxwell just had this new release, Falling Into Forever, and it is a fake dating friends to lovers, second chance romance. Now, our female character, she is this romance novelist and her ex shows up on her doorstep who has this very much golden retriever energy, and he basically says, hey, for the sake of the press, because he is this like Hollywood star, why don't we fake date? We pretty much know each other. I know it didn't work out 6 years ago, but let's fake date. And she, for whatever reason, falls into that and says yes. So another trope that I love is second chance, which just has, so in the past when our two characters were together, our female character was keeping secrets from him. She's trying to keep her distance during this fake relationship because she doesn't want to like fall into that again, because the secrets that she's keeping now are even darker than the ones that she did previously. But like, he just has this golden retriever energy and just like slowly breaks down her walls over time. With fake dating, they both have to put on this whole show to literally show everyone that they actually do love each other and feel something for each other, which that of course gets all of their feelings all mixed up, which makes just for an incredible journey. And I will say that this book has anxiety and depression representation, so just know that before going in. But let me know in the comments down below if you're going to pick up Falling Into Forever by Avery Maxwell. I hope you do. But once again, thank you to Avery Maxwell for sponsoring this video. But let's just go ahead and dive into the recommendations. And the first one I have is actually perfect with the holiday season coming up. That's Lovelight Farms by BK Borison. So this is now picked up by Berkeley, so you can find them in Barnes & Noble, which so happy for BK Borison. But this book follows two friends who have been friends forever. And our female character, she is trying to get kind of like this sponsorship opportunity for Lovelight Farms, which is the farm that she works on. And she asks her friend, who has been her friend for forever, to fake date and show, yeah, I have my life together. Like, I have this boyfriend who loves me and we're great and everything's great. She just wants to put on this show for everyone. I mean, you could read this book at any time of the year, but honestly, it's perfect, literally perfect for the holiday season. Going into November and into December, it's just perfect for the holiday season because it's all like Christmassy stuff. It's all holiday stuff. And there's a super small town that everyone meddles and everyone is into everyone's business. And I personally really enjoyed that. It's just gives that small time vibe with fake dating, friends to lovers romance where they've been friends for forever. So if you're looking for one of those where they've known each other and now they're fake dating, definitely check out this one. So good. So good. The next one I want to mention is one of my favorite reads of this year. I've talked about it a lot, and that is Right Man, Right Time by Megan Quinn. So Megan Quinn did the fake dating aspect so well in this book, and the way that these characters meet are just hilarious to me, and it made me laugh out loud. The narration was amazing. I listened to the audiobook, but basically our female character, you see her, she's a college student, she's at this bar hanging out with her friends, and her ex walks in with one of her rivals, and she's like, I cannot let him like beat me at this. So she goes up to this guy at the bar. He's just hanging out by himself having a drink, and come to find out he's a very popular professional NHL player. And she goes up to him and is like, hey, I'm gonna kiss you in 5 seconds, please tell me if you don't want me to do that. My ex is over there and I really want to make him jealous. And he doesn't say anything, so they kiss, and they had this moment of like, holy crap, like that was something. Little does she know, he propositions her and is like, hey, because I did you this favor, I need you to do me a favor. Let's fake date, because my ex is even a bigger piece of work than your ex, which is true. His ex, you see at the beginning of the book, she cheated on him with multiple people, and he walks in on that when he's like about to propose. So it's this whole mess. They have this really interesting relationship where it's like a friendship that develops, and they kind of like really get to know each other truly as friends while they're fake dating, and then it turns into a very spicy relationship, and I loved it. The romance was so good. It is on the longer side, but it is very good. There's a little bit of an age gap, but it is such a good book. It had me laughing out loud, so I highly suggest you check out that one too. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This is my second favorite book in the Twisted series. Now, this book follows Christian, which we've seen Christian in the other book, so like, it's not a surprise that he's getting a book. But then you see Stella, and Stella is this influencer, and she wants to move into Christian's apartment building, which you do see in the previous book. She wants to move in with her friend, and Christian gives them a huge discount because, like, they can't afford that apartment. Like, truly, they really can't. But he's like, ooh, he sees her. He finds her interesting. So he's like, I'm going to do everything I can to get her into this apartment. And he does. And he like starts showing up. Now, Christian is so possessive. Like, if you like Alex from Twisted Love, you're going to love Christian in this book, because he is literally something else. But I will say, as an influencer, as a content creator, I really liked Stella's journey that she goes on. And the whole reason why they fake date is because she has this sponsorship opportunity where she can partner with a brand, but she wants to show them that her Instagram and her social media is growing, but it's been stagnant for a little while. So she's trying to get to, I think it's like 1 million followers or something like that. And Christian agrees to fake date her, but it's mostly just to like post on social media. So she posts like them holding hands, but she never shows his face because she wants to like keep it private, which makes more people even like follow her because they want to know like, who is this person? So I really liked this book. It definitely had that fake dating where like they didn't really know each other, but then they kind of like start to fake date and they really get to know each other. It was so good. This is a thick book. It's the biggest book in the series, but I loved it. I think it's great. Christian is so possessive, and they have Taco Tuesday where he's like, I am not missing Taco Tuesday for my girl. It was so good. So good. Check out this if you haven't already. The next book I want to talk about is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is the second book in the Windy City series, and this book follows Ryan and Indy. You see both of them in Mile High, but you do not have to read Mile High to read this book. So Indy is the best friend of Stevie in the first book, and Ryan is Stevie's brother. He is an NBA player, and when his coach is like, hey, I'm glad you're captain, but like, you don't do anything. Like, for PR, you've been single, you don't go to any parties, you don't really do anything. Like, you need to like show something, like do something. And so when Indy is staying with him because she found out her ex was cheating on her, and she moves in with him, he's like, hey, since you're staying here, can you do me this favor and like be my date to all of these different things? And that's how they kind of get closer, because Ryan really keeps to himself. So even in the apartment, he gives Indy his space, which Indy is like the complete opposite. She loves to talk. She loves to like be around people and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where they really are seriously opposites and they are attracted to each other. But Ryan is so swoon worthy. He like makes her coffee the certain way that she likes every morning. And, you know, it's just one of those, like, that first step to, like, break that ice. It's like, hey, let's go to these events together where they have to be touchy-feely and they have to, like, show that they actually, like, feel something for each other. So I personally really enjoyed this when it was a 5-star read. I did just read Caught Up, which is the third book in this series, and it was even better. So that one's not fake dating, it's single dad, but I want to throw it out there. Definitely pick up this book if you haven't already. This series got picked up, so I'm very happy for Liz Tomford. But if you haven't read Ryan and Indy's story, you definitely need to, because Ryan Shea is something else. The next one I want to talk about is a new release as well, and that is One Chance by Lena Hendricks. So this book is the third book in the Sullivan family, and technically you don't have to read them in order, but I feel like Lena Hendricks has this overarching plot of like the Sullivans versus the Royals, and it's like two families in this small town that's been rivaling for like decades at this point. So there's a little bit of that. You see Lee, who is like this playboy, and you know, the book opens up with him running down the street with no clothes on because he's running away from the one-night stand that he had, because the girl was like crazy and psycho and like basically was like, what are you doing? Why are you having me leave? Like, I want to stay with you, all this stuff like that. But then you see that his best friend Annie is the one that has to like clean up his mess all the time, like help these women out, or, you know, go pick them up from all these places. So they've been friends for years, but one of the things that they have in common is a tragedy that happened when they were younger, where Lee's girlfriend at the time, her name was Margot, she was killed in a drunk driving accident. She was walking in a drunk drive and hit her. But Margot is also Annie's foster sister. Her family took in Annie from the system, and so that's kind of how they all three knew each other. So when he goes off to the service, he receives letters from Margot, and that's how he really started to fall in love with her. And by the time he got back, he was a firefighter. She was gone within like a couple months. So it's very hard for him to like deal with that grief, as well as Annie has to deal with that grief too, because she lost like her sister. So they've always just like stayed friends since then, even though they've had feelings for each other after. They just never wanted to cross that line. Now there is this like auction happening where you can like auction off like a date, whatever. And so at the time, it's the fake dating's there, but it's like kind of there. It's one of those things where they try to set each other up with their friends to like try and get a date for this auction. And it doesn't work, so they just decide that if they can't find someone, they're going to go together. So I did enjoy this one. It's not my favorite in the series, but it is one that I wanted to mention with the fake dating, because it's once again It's one that has the friends to lovers aspect and the fake dating, which I do enjoy. And it's a small town and they all meddle. They all meddle. Everyone meddles, especially the Sullivan family. So yeah, suggest checking out this series if you haven't already. So those are all my fake dating romance recommendations that I have to share with you. But once again, thank you to Avery Maxwell for sponsoring this video. Make sure you pick up Falling Into Forever for another fake dating, second chance, very angsty, emotional book where a female character is hiding secrets, and it's all in the limelight because she is a romance writer and he is a Hollywood star. For the emoji, drop me some flower emojis in the comments down below. What doesn't matter which color flower emojis, drop them in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.